Hello right bags, it's Jade. Welcome to a special access show. Today we're going to be taking a look at everything you need to know about Last Oasis. I've got the price for you guys. If you're thinking about this new PvP, PvE, open world survival game, then I've got some information you need to hear. As well as a brand new one as well called Population Zero. They've just released a brand new dev trailer for it, or dev video vlog, and it's got some more interesting details and it's starting to shape up nicely too. So if you're looking for new survival games, then they're the ones that maybe to keep an eye on. Also revisiting Ark Survival Evolved. I told you guys I wasn't particularly happy with the way they went about a wipe recently, and Wildcard did respond. I got a talking with the community manager a little bit, or the product manager I should say, and he did explain a little bit more their reasoning why they've chosen to do some soft wipe resets on their PvP official network. So we'll go over that too. Plus what's going on with the PlayStation 4 update. It's meant to be coming this week. Hopefully we're going to get some news of that in the coming days as well. CONAN Exiles DLC is meant to be coming this first half of this year. Maybe not. I've got more info on that. And Space Engineers has just launched its brand new free update, adding a whole new planet to explore. And we're talking about whether or not that's going to make it to the Xbox version or not. Plus, a new game, Among Trees, a brand new survival game that I'm looking forward to playing very much. And issues with Osiris New Dawn. Space Survival is nearly coming to the end of its early access life, but it looks like some players aren't happy. So all that and more, let's go with the access show. So Last Oasis is about to launch. It's coming out on the 26th, and I am going to be showing you guys exclusive early access, well, I guess with a bunch of other YouTubers and streamers, starting tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming this a lot, so expect to see me doing a pretty chunky stream. I might even aim for something like 6 or 8 hours. We're getting early access to it for a couple days before it goes on full launch, and I've just revealed the price of the game. Don't know what Last Oasis is. It is a PvE, PvP focused game, but not in the same mold you've seen in games like ARK and CONAN. Last Oasis is about your relationship with walkers. I've played a bunch of it over the weekend in the alpha or the closed beta, and I have to say I liked what I saw. It's very unique, it's very different. The combat style is directional, so when you're fighting it matters about skill and exactly how you're utilising your weapons. If you've ever played some more traditional games like Mount and Blade I do believe and stuff like that, then you're used to kind of directional combat, or maybe a more recent example, Mordu. But they've also got other really unique stuff as well. No offline base raiding unless you really don't plan properly. Last Oasis is a mixture of being able to build your bases on servers that have preset times, and being able to pack up your base in certain instances and log off safely or travel to another server. And that's not revolutionary traveling to more servers, but it is being able to take the majority of your resources as well as your base. So I'm really excited about this one. I've got lots of content planned. I've been playing it a bunch, so expect lots of guides and tutorials on this one in the next coming days. Obviously, PC will be the focus for the foreseeable future while they're in early access, but let's hoping it picks up enough and we could see this on console in the future. So the game is going to be $24.89 until April the 2nd. After that, it's going to go up to $29.99, and that's pretty much on par with most games of this type at the moment. I will say it right now, I think there's enough content in there to justify that price, and it is early access, so they're going to be adding a lot more, and it looks like they really have spent their time with it. Donkey Crew did have a chance to release this last year, but they recognised it didn't have enough content, or they needed more iterations based on the feedback they got. And I like that fact they didn't just crap it out and expect people to buy it. It's very good, I will say it now. It ran perfectly over the last 10 or 12 hours I put into it over the weekend. No crashes, no real big huge bugs or problems or issues that I encountered playing it pretty solo. And the sound and the environments are just top notch. Like really is, I'm feeling something good about this. So yeah, if you like PvP with a chance to actually fight against other players, as well as take on more traditional routes, there are ways that you can set bases up and they can still be open to attack, but the majority of it can be negated by you logging off safely, so you don't have to worry about being raided when you're not online. It's really interesting. The walkers are huge, some of them. There's a big choice that are coming as well. They're going to be adding much more in early access. And there's quite a surprising amount of wildlife and variety in it. After my testing, I found a bunch of creatures that I've never heard or seen in any of the trailers or any of the screenshots. There's also variation for combat and weapons and styles, and I'm hoping they're going to iterate on that in the future as well. So yeah, that's coming. Expect to see that massively on my channel over the next week or so. Among the Trees was announced last year. It's going to be a survival game, but with a key difference. It's meant to be pretty arty. Think of maybe like The Long Dark, but its own unique style. And it's going to be obviously facing off against creatures and wildlife of a forest. But there's no zombies here. There's no mutants, as far as we know anyway. Details have been a little bit sparse. The developers went a bit quiet and some people were worried it wasn't getting worked on. It was originally meant to come into early access soon after its announcement trailer last year, but something went wrong or something didn't happen. Since then, it looks like they have been supported by the Epic Games Store, and so it is going to be early access on the Epic Games Store when it comes out soon, and it's meant to be coming out this summer. Expect the usual sort of stuff: crafting, foraging, gathering lots of resources and items, and obviously making sure that you're staying alive, but with a few differences. You won't have to worry about building your own house. It will come with cabins that you can expand and add your own rooms or side parts to. Also, for people wondering, they are considering a PlayStation release in the future too, so hopefully that means it will come to Xbox and maybe even a Switch eventually as well. And expect maybe a little bit more customization in terms of decorative items and pieces. So yeah, very interesting. I love the look of this. It's got a real moody, vibrant little feel to it, and I'm looking forward to giving this a try. I'll be checking this out and giving you more information about Among Trees when it comes out later on this year. So ARK Survival Evolved just posted on the official Twitter page that they're taking enforcement action, and a bunch of servers are going to be non-able to play on at the moment until they're fixed. I'm going to go through that stuff, but also you may have been experiencing more crashes since yesterday on the PlayStation 4 network, particularly on official servers. It looks like there's been lots of stuff going on. I haven't seen any news to say that has been fixed at the moment, but yeah, if you're experiencing crashes, they do know about it or disconnects. So on top of that, PlayStation 4 fans are eagerly waiting for a hefty update. Xbox had it last week. It ended up getting it on Friday, I do believe, or Saturday. PC have had them and they're pretty much more or less up to date now, but PlayStation have been some weeks behind, and I don't think it really was down to the certification process. It looks like a lot of this enforcement, the changes behind the scenes, getting rid of duped items, especially on the worst affected platforms, Xbox, meant delays to the PlayStation ports. Parity updates for PC that were coming to Xbox and PlayStation, they were meant to come out last week. They did hit Xbox but not PlayStation. So we was told early this week. Obviously it's getting to the end of the day now on the Monday. I can't see it happening today, but you never know. Otherwise, I'm fully expecting the update to go live tomorrow, and we'll hear more information in the community crunch. Xbox updates were substantial, 15 GB for Genesis and then between 5 and 9 GB for each DLC, so it ended up being around 30 GB update, so expect that to be a bit smaller on PlayStation but still quite a big one. To finish off the rest of what I want to talk about. Maybe this is in response to what I said the other day. I had a pretty decent little discussion with JADE, the product manager of ARK Survival Evolved, about ARK Survival Evolved and why it took so long to implement PvP wipe measures they introduced. If you don't know, recently, literally on Friday, late night or early Saturday morning, they pretty much wiped the official PvP network of all mechs, all tech suit items, and a few other key items, and reduced and nerfed the power of mechs as well as some aspects of tech as well. This was all in response and answer to the duping that's been going on for over a year. Now, the big thing came to light 8 months ago, and I've done a detailed video on this, so if you're bored of me talking about it, go and check that out. I'm not going to go over it too much. I don't particularly like ragging people out, and I don't like ragging JADE out. I actually quite like him, but I have to go out there and say what I'm thinking, or say what a lot of people are maybe thinking too. A lot of the enforcement action they took, a lot of the wipes they pretty much did, it just seemed to be a bit of a funny time in doing it after Genesis was released and after they'd made the most of their money. Well, JADE has responded and said that's not simply the case. I pretty much asked him to educate me a little bit more and you guys about why they made the decision to do this now. He pointed me back to the original post saying about the wipe of these items across the official PC and Xbox networks, and this will be happening on the PlayStation 4 as well, but the duping wasn't as bad as it was on these major platforms. They said they pretty much decided about this, but it took a long time because they didn't really want to have to punish people that were innocent, and it's never an easy thing to do. And I guess this is the better alternative to wiping out the complete PvP network, although I would still argue that was better option, as so many tribes, so many people have probably been wiped using all the duped items and maybe never came back to the game. So soft wiping the stuff now just seems like you might as well have just done the whole thing. Agree or disagree? Should they have wiped the whole server network with all the amount of duping that went on? Even if the duped items aren't there or they can't use their methods or them items anymore, the consequences of that have still been pretty harsh. Maybe this is why they're revisiting a lot of these servers now, and I'm presuming going to be wiping tribes. Hopefully this means they've kept a log of the tribes that were doing the duping to the biggest scale and they are getting rid of them. There's quite a few PS4 servers here, a fair amount of Xbox servers obviously, but not many PC servers at all. It's probably equal now because PC had enforcement last time. So if you play on any of these servers, good luck. You might find you're part of a tribe that's been wiped because they were duping or cheating. Jack did go on to explain also, as much as we fixed things months ago, new things can emerge and it's been continuous effort to clamp down and resolve them. We don't claim to know everything what's wrong with the game, and we shouldn't. It would be ignorant to do so. However, we feel from our recent fixes, the ones that gone live over the last year to the live branch, as well as things that were fixed whilst working on Genesis in the last few weeks of hot fixes, it was an appropriate time to apply this change. I simply reply back, ARK isn't suddenly a live service game. It's been a live service game for a long time. Obviously, they've had these issues for over a year. They really should have done more. Yes, they did clamp down on some of the methods, and yes, they did make it so that some of the items that you could dupe, namely creatures, wouldn't work. And they maybe only did enforcement maybe once or twice, actually deleting tribes or kicking them off the servers. Jack simply said, I think that's pretty simple. If you think about it, a lot of time has passed. In that time, a lot of change can occur. Be that with people, philosophy, growth, goals and objectives. There's a number of reasons. Sure, we can be frustrated how things were handled in the past, although I'd rather focus my energy on how we can improve things in the present and the future. So this is kind of a statement, and I'm taking it from Jack on this. Obviously, this is not the first time. They did this when ARK first released, when it had to create a brand new cluster of servers because all the old legacy servers were filled with duped items. I'm taking this to mean that this is it. No more resets or soft stuff or going on. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're going to keep supporting ARK like a proper live service game, which it should be. Maybe not to the extent like things like Destiny, Warframe, or any other style sort of loot shooter live service game, but there's definitely lessons they could learn in keeping the community up to date better and making sure the game runs better. Genesis hasn't gone well the last few weeks. There's been enough problems across all platforms. So I'm hoping this is just a rocky start and that things will improve. Updates will be much more tested, and we won't get into situations where there is mass duping once more. Obviously, they've got big plans with Crystal Isles and Gen 2, and who knows, they might not even be working on ARK 2. They could possibly just be expanding with more DLC if it is going to carry on being a live service, especially now we know that Xbox and PlayStation have plans that all your games will be pretty much compatible with the next generation. Anyway, you go and read my tweets if you want more info about it. I will be covering this in a little bit more detail, actually talking about some of the stuff that Wildcard have been doing and how they can improve for the future. The games are coming thick and fast. I showed you guys off Population Zero recently at the start of another video talking about what's coming to this game, and have just released a brand new dev diary. They're also giving away you the chance to play it, not only just in the closed beta, but you can win keys when it actually comes out in full, or I should say early access. 5,000 keys in fact that will be permanent, so you get to keep copies of the game forever, as well as 5,000 closed beta test invites. So I'm going to leave the link for this in the description box, as well as Last Oasis. Go and check out both of these games. Population Zero is not coming out for a while though, won't be here until May. So definitely think Last Oasis is worth your time at the moment. And I've just finished off though Population Zero closed beta this weekend, so I expect many more over the coming months. They've done a devlog video with some decent voiceovers talking about the world and the environments and how you're going to be playing it. Population Zero is very different. It does look like it's got a unique cycle, so it's not persistent. Their wipes kind of happen every 7 days. But each time that happens, you'll have a various different way to play it. It may introduce different ways to play the game in the future, basically tailoring and changing and shifting the patterns of how you play. Whether or not that might be something like resource gathering is being boosted in certain ways, or maybe access to certain biomes and stuff. I'm not 100% clued in, but that's what they've said. The cycles will change every 7 days, and you can unlock new game modes and various different ways to play it. There is, I do believe, taming in the game as well. It looks like you're going to be able to ride your creatures, and it looks very colourful. It does have this really unique art style. Also talking a lot in this devlog of how you'll actually need to solve almost jumping puzzles and stuff. So here's some of the creatures, the mobs, very alien-like of course. I don't think we're going to be seeing something too familiar to what you're used to, but it looks like there's plenty to go and explore and conquer. And I've seen some of the larger creatures there. It looks like they're going to be a bit of a challenge to take on. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Maybe expect some more promo from me in the coming months, and hopefully we can see this one grow alongside Last Oasis. I'm seeing both of these games as good bets if you're looking for something new in the survival genre. So you guys know I exclusively broke the news to you first that Conan Exiles was introducing a brand new paid map, and that was before Christmas. No one really kind of bought it. A lot of YouTubers said, no, you're chatting rubbish, Jade. But it was directly from these guys' mouths. They mentioned it, albeit very quickly, that they were bringing a paid map, but they weren't going to be speaking about it. We obviously got confirmation of that in January when eventually they announced properly it would be happening. And they've done their most recent quarterly call about their finances, and I missed this a couple of weeks ago, mainly because obviously ARK Genesis hype. Now originally they had said it would be coming the first half of the year, the brand new map, but it does look like that's been moved a bit later now. So we're not expecting the brand new paid expansion until the second half. I've got some more thoughts about this. We're going to be talking about this in a separate video. But yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there right now because to my mind, I'd assumed it was coming early part of this year based on what they'd said originally, but it does look like they've moved it now. But they did speak possibly about having more DLC before that, and of course we know they're working on updates too. Update number 40, I do believe, is going to be more thrall management, and that's coming in very soon, or update 41. It looks like we're expecting more content updates in the lead up to the brand new expansion, and that'll be a good thing, getting the game in order so that it's working as well as it can do before paid DLC comes out. So I'll be going through this, like I said, with more detail, talking about Conan, how they've been performing, and some various other bits. Osiris New Dawn has had a bit of a kerfuffle recently. It seems to be getting a few review bombs from players unhappy how they've gone about finishing off their early access period. The space survival game has just had its closed beta go into effect the last few months and have been inviting people to come and take part in it. They're in the last stages of that, but it does look like it has upset a few people. And kind of rightly so. People bought this game in early access expecting it to possibly grow and change, and they did do that, but they put a lot of that content onto side servers, experience servers, or they never really updated the live branch. It's taken nearly 4 years. This game first came out in 2016, and so it's a long time, and I feel like a lot of people are maybe just a bit disgruntled with it. Hence why it has received a little bit of negative press. It gained a pretty substantial following once it came out. A lot of YouTubers picked up on this game because it looked pretty interesting, a proper space survival game, and there seems to be some good stuff coming in it. But a lot of people are questioning whether or not we'll actually ever see this happening, and a lot of the reviews are currently negative, talking about the way they've done it. Devs do seem to iterate here though in a recent post saying that they have got an NDA for the closed beta. You can sign up for it. But the NDA obviously doesn't stop you from playing the open beta or the experiences or the live game. The NDA is only just for the closed experiences so they can maximise potential, and that's understandable. But definitely for sure, it's probably not the best way to go about things when you've had your game in early access so long. Your best bet is to just be open and upfront with the people that bought your game originally and supported it. But it's not unheard of. Lots of other games have done this. Even 7 Days to Die, a game that's been out for nearly 7 years, is also doing similar things with streamer weekends and closed access for certain things. So yeah, I want to take a look at this. It's always intrigued me. I had some great ideas. It looked good back at the day. I've not really seen it much since then, no, but I have followed its progress with its betas, so definitely be taking a look at this in the future. So Space Engineers is in beta at the moment. As you know, on Xbox, you've got to be part of it, you've got to buy it and then actually download it via the Xbox Insider program. It looks like the brand new Frost Planet Triton won't necessarily be coming to the Xbox on release just yet. It looks like this has just come to PC, and it may be a few months before they push it out onto console as well. But it's looking good. They've also added a hydrogen tank, I do believe, and some more bits and bobs. And this is all free content, the new planet. They do have DLC packs, but a lot of it relies on cosmetics and other stuff to help or make the game look nicer rather than actually pay to win or any items locked off. So good on them. I'm I'm really hopeful to get some time to spend some time on the Xbox beta in the future. So I'll be taking a look and showing you this, guys, in the next coming weeks too. It's coming out in April for everyone to buy. If you don't want to take part in the beta just yet, or you want to wait and see, but otherwise if you buy it now and pre-order it, you can get access to the beta straight away. So there we go, guys. That is everything you need to know about survival at the moment. If you want to hear more about what the rest of the year's got, like I mentioned, go and check out my survival 2020 content video. I'm talking about all the big guns, as well as some smaller games that are in early access and finally coming out, and general DLC and update plans for pretty much all of the most favourite or most well-known survival games out there, as well as a few looks at some that have failed and some brand new games. I'll be back with more news. I'm sure we'll be doing a proper full ARK video if there's a decent community crunch tomorrow, but expect lots of Last Oasis content for the next week or so. Until then, I'll see you ratbags later.